In life, there comes a time when you have to know your limits. Fraser and I have been living off-grid for years, and we're no strangers to its challenges. We've endured years without running water or a steady electricity supply, and are now raising our children here. While we sometimes see glossy portrayals of off-grid life on YouTube, the reality is more complex. It's a beautiful way of life, but it has its difficulties, and this summer has been particularly tough. Firstly, lack of rain left us without water. We had to bring in emergency supplies and spent most of our savings to prevent it from happening again. Behind the scenes, a continuous stream of bad news for our families and loved ones has added to the load. Feeling overwhelmed, we decided enough was enough. If you've been with us a while, you'll know that we're lucky enough to own a piece of land in what we believe to be the most beautiful country in the world. We only bought it earlier this year, and we haven't even seen it since it's been ours. Despite all the plans we have for it, this year it just hasn't been possible. But at times like these it calls us, so we decided to down tools and take some time to remind ourselves of why we chose this life.
Hey, you couldn't see it coming. You might have thought it, but you couldn't change it. Hey, it's not right or wrong. It's about trying, find the silver lining. Rain and fire, highs and lows, you name it. Cold and warmth, laughs and cries, you have it. The world goes by, and by the time it does, you missed it. You didn't see it, flew by. 'Cause time's not waiting for me or you. You will miss it if you don't catch it in time.
After 6 hours of driving, we finally arrived.
Right, well, we made it here, and the kids and Rachael have gone off while I try and get into this bit of woodland so we can actually walk through it. We were supposed to come here, me and my dad, and have a big sort out with the chipping machine and everything, and we've had a lot of family things go on this year, so hopefully next year will be the year we really make an impact, because we'll get the chipper down here, everyone will be well, and we'll be able to make a big dent in this, because I'm just going to do a little bit. I really want to be able to do most of this with my dad and make a big thing, because he's excited about it, and you know, the impact I'm going to make with just a chainsaw is nothing compared to once we start chipping. I don't want to have tons and tons of waste everywhere, but we've got to get in here so we can have a walk around. We'll try and, nothing's level. With a chipper we could go through, actually chip a path and level it off a bit. With me just chainsawing bits down, we're just going to have more waste everywhere. So it doesn't seem to rot, this stuff. There's piles of rhododendron everywhere, and it seems to not want to rot, and then you've got to have a fire or something. So I think the chipper's going to make a big dent, so I'm going to try and have a go at this now. The moss is ridiculous, it's so thick. It's like a sponge. It's a completely different place from home. Now down there it's bone hard ground, and the moss just dies in the summer. And this stuff, no wonder we got a water source that's running, because the moss itself is just like drip, 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 like a flannel or something that you hang on the line.
Our plan was to put up a tent for the children to use as a base during our time here, but after a long drive we decided to head to our accommodation and put the tent up in the morning instead. The next morning we headed straight to the woodland.
I've made some inroads onto our bit of woodland, and the way I've done that is I've actually started with the easiest part. I'm working on a bit of ground that is the flattest and there isn't as much rhododendron on it. The idea being I've got to plant some things and I want to get things started because I can always move them later on. I've actually gone through here and cleared an area. I've got a larger multi-stemmed tree to take out down there. I'm going to clear a bit of space to run a line of hazel through here. I've got a big bag of hazel nuts from our own land. I dug a load of raspberries up and there was some strawberry in there, and they're a really good strawberry. We'll see if that does anything here. Put down a line of thornless blackberry through there, and on the boundary just 18 inches in, and then we've got raspberry. So we've got a golden raspberry that's really sweet, and these are really good fruits. I mean, we don't know what they'll do here. They might taste completely different. Very different soil, very different climate, so much cooler than back home. Really wet, really wet as well. They might actually rot. Even though this is a bit of high ground, I've aimed for the higher end of the land to put these things, but the moss just holds so much water. So the kids are hanging out in the tent because it's hard work going through here. We've got mushrooms everywhere, even in August. It's just mushroom heaven. I think it's just mushrooms all year round. It's so damp. Right, so now we've got a bit of a clearing, so we can go along and put these hazelnuts in along there. See what happens. There's a big stump there I need to cut down further when I get a bigger saw here. I'll have a petrol saw rather than a little battery one. But I don't want to carry fuel with the kids and stuff. We've just brought the car, so when we have the big truck, hopefully, and the chipper down here, we can do bits and pieces like that.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within.
To some people it must seem strange that in order to escape the pressures of one woodland, we choose to visit another. But there is something about the rawness of this land that reminds us of how far we've come at home. After an afternoon of planting hazelnuts, we decided to spend some time exploring the local area and headed for a walk on the shores of Loch Lomond.
Beneath the shadows of this quiet town, I see you there, your feathers on the ground. Your eyes are heavy with the weight of the world. What's in a life you never could offer? Even if you've never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight. Although you're earthbound,
So it's hard going trying to get through this because Albie doesn't quite realise that you can't eat all the mushrooms that are on the floor, and so we have to confine him to the tent sometimes, and when we're not confining him to the tent we've got to hold his hand and make sure he's not touching anything, or we're carrying him around it, which makes it very difficult. So yeah, it's a bit of a struggle today. It'll get easier. I think it's going to get easier as they get older and they know not to eat things.
I was out drinking, looking for the next thing. I couldn't really settle down. Always on the run, I didn't want to slow down. But baby, then you came around. Yeah, you came around. No, I won't ever let you down. I promise you that I'll hold on. I know that it gets tough sometimes, so I'm here to remind you, love. The sun will shine on you wherever you go, wherever you go. And when it gets dark, stay strong. You're never alone. You're never alone. The sun will shine. The sun will shine. Yeah. Now I cannot picture my life being without you. You're the center of my life. I know we can't predict the future. Baby, I won't lose you. You know that I will stick around. Yeah, I will stick around.
Oh, it's cold.
Our last stop off was the place we took Grace and Albie almost exactly a year ago.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh dear.
I've got something. You popped. I'm going down.
Seeing how they have changed is a stark reminder that the days are long but the years are short. And however hard things can feel, we are so blessed.
Come on.
Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city. Let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in